Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we living. We know that slowly the NFL has basically tried doing away with the kick return. They're making it where they're a lot less frequent. They moved up where the kicker kicks from, therefore, a lot more kicks out of the end zone or touchbacks. They now allow kick returners to fair catch the ball where they will get the ball at the 25. And they do this because of the risk of injury. They've done studies that show that injuries happen more frequently during kickoff returns. Well, the XFL actually had an interesting rule when they came back, and the NFL could look to implement it regarding kick returns. So this would be a Michael David Smith of Pro Football Talk. NFL continues to explore shifting to XFL style low impact kickoff. So, why is it called a low impact kickoff? So he mentions that the NFL found during the 2023 season concussions were down mostly because kickoff returns were down thanks to the new rule, giving the receiving team the option of fair catching and getting the ball at the 25-yard line, but in an effort to keep concussions down, but possibly add some excitement to kickoffs, the league will once again look at adopting the XFL rule. According to Mark Mask of the Washington Post, the XFL rule requires 10 players on each team to line up 5 yards apart on the kickoff, with only the kicker and the returner permitted to line up elsewhere. Because the players are so close together, they don't have time to get into a full sprint, and there are fewer high speed collisions than on standard kickoffs. So, NFL's longstanding efforts to reduce concussions, kickoffs have become viewed as the most dangerous playing football. Low impact kickoff may be the way of the future. So if you're wondering what that XFL kickoff looks like, here is a picture of it. So you don't even see the kicker. He's way back there kicking off the ball. You see there's a distance between the kick returner and the rest of the players, 10 on 10 at between the return team at the 30, the kicking team at the 35, and they basically are stationary until the returner catches the ball and then they start moving. Obviously, don't have time to build the momentum for that, high speed hits that could take place. Now, if you know, let me know in the comments. Is it what type of penalty is it if a guy jumps before the returner catches the ball? Um, Not really sure how that works. But as I mentioned, the kick return is slowly dying. If we take a look at last year's stats, there were only 7 players who averaged one return per game. So, of course, teams now play 17 games a season. Only 7 players had at least 17 kick returns for the season, led by Keyshawn Nixon of the Green Bay Packers with 30. And we look at kick return touchdowns. Come on. There was just 4 of them on the whole season. So kick returns, of course, a lot less frequent with so many more touchbacks and the option of the fair catch to bring the ball at the 25. What are your thoughts? Is this something the NFL should look to implement? Kind of bring the kick return back a little bit. I'm not sure where the kicker would kick from because, again, if there's still a lot of touchbacks, not sure how much the rule would affect or if returners would take it out more often, with guys staying stationary until they catch the ball. But definitely, I think something that could work out for the NFL. I don't want to see the kick return basically die off. I understand that there is a risk of injury. There's a risk of injury in every play. Let's be serious. But the days of the superstar return men, the Devin Hesters, the Brian Mitchells, Mel Gray, David Meggett, Tamarick Vanover, um, Dante Hall, I could name a few more, Deion Sanders, they're just, you can't really name superstar return men anymore. And it's always fun to see a guy break one out for a score. I remember the Packers winning that Super Bowl and Desmond Howard being named Super Bowl MVP, mostly as a return guy. But again, what are your thoughts? Should the NFL look to implement this XFL rule to their kickoff game? Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.